What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Alright, so today I'm doing something a little different. It's a theory, not a game review. And this just sort of came to me when I was watching YouTube one day. There was someone playing a game called 12 Locks. And I've been a subscriber of Game, Film, and Food Theory for long enough to get a mild theory sense, as he calls it. And this one tipped me off. So I watched more videos, and it tipped me off even more as I went, to the point where I knew I had to make a video on it. So here we are, a bit later. Alright, so at first glance it just seems like a silly little mobile game made for children, but when you dig a little deeper, it gets a little more disturbing. Oh, and quick disclaimer before I get on into all this stuff. I am by no means a psychologist. If I get anything wrong, comment down below. I'm happy to hear criticism. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's get into it. Alright, so in the first game, the plasticine man is trying to get into his bathroom, but he locked it with 12 locks and forgot for some reason. And that's the entire game. You unlock the bathroom, he goes in, big whoop. But the second game, it gets a little weird because he now has a daughter. And in the first level of the second game, his daughter is trying to find her doll, but Plasticine Man has locked it inside of a safe with 12 locks. So you have to go and you have to find all the locks, and when you unlock it, her doll is there. Yay for you, I guess. And that's not really a big deal. But in the second level, of the game, he locks himself in a coffin, and when his daughter gets him out, it's day, so he asks to be put back in the coffin because it's Halloween and they're vampires. Which is, probably just a silly Halloween themed level. But it could be something more sinister, as you'll see. Alright, and in the third level, he locks his car up and they're trying to go to school. So, not really a lot to go off there, but the third game is where I thought of this theory in the first place. So, in the first level of the third game, hang on, I lost my spot. In the the first level of the third game, he locks himself and his daughter in the house. And in the next level, they go to the ocean for some reason, even though they took off in a plane in the first level. And they find a chest locked with 12 locks. And once they open that chest, it's full of rubber ducks. And apparently the pirate who locked that chest in the first place also liked counting to 12 for some reason. That's a recurring thing, or not, as you'll see later. Yeah. And in the third level, they're in space now for some reason, even though they were on a boat in the previous level, and he locks himself outside of the spaceship with, again, 12 locks. That's a pattern. I hope you noticed it by now. Alright, so once you undo all those locks, he gets back in the spaceship and stuff. And in the next level, they're in the Wild West for some reason. With bandits and all, I know. And he locks himself in a cage with bars to hide from bandits. Yep, if you haven't noticed, he is a complete moron. Yeah, he's a complete moron. And in the final level of the game, he locks his tent only to find a large bear in it when he unlocks it. This one will be important later. Keep that last level in mind because that'll come up again. I promise. Alright. So, I think that the main character, who we'll just call Plasticine Man, because that's what he's called, I think he suffers from OCD, schizophrenia, and Alzheimer's. Let me explain. Please, don't spam the comments with no proof. I got some proof. Okay, that sounds pretty crazy. Let me explain. The OCD part is pretty obvious. He locks everything with exactly 12 locks. I mean, it doesn't take a lot to speculate this. But the schizophrenia and Alzheimer's is where it can understandably get a little crazy for you guys watching. So, yeah. Okay, so I think he has schizophrenia because in the first game, he goes to the bathroom and then he has a daughter. So I think when he went to the bathroom, he might just be like passed out on the floor dreaming this or like hallucinating this. But yeah, he goes into the bathroom, starts having a schizophrenic episode, and then slowly gets weirder and weirder as time goes on, as displayed in the third game, it getting gradually stranger and stranger over time. The Alzheimer's part, it ties this theory all nice up into a nice little ball. You see, he puts locks on things because he hallucinates things like scary shadow monsters and stuff, and he tries to lock them in to forget about them, or he just locks himself in a coffin and waits for them to disappear. Why would he lock him? Oh, Yeah. Just look at the last level. He locks up a tent but doesn't remember that there's a bear inside. And he seems to not remember the earlier levels. He doesn't question why he's changing places and times so fast because he doesn't remember it. But hey, that's just a theory. Thanks for watching. And if you want to expand on my theory, by all means, leave a comment. And if you think that my theory is absolute trash, leave a comment explaining why. I'm open to all kinds of criticism. Constructive criticism, people yelling at me for this theory possibly making no fucking sense at all. Yeah, this is just a little thing I thought, and it was a pain in the ass to get the recording footage because it was all on my Chromebook, and apparently my editing software doesn't take too kindly to that. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.